All this to say, if you are based in Vietnam, you cannot have your assets, your companies, your money, your wealth, all of your money, it should not be in Vietnam. Also, it should not be in your currency. It should be in your currency, in Vietnam, in euros, in dollars, in Swiss francs, and in 2 other countries at least. Because you are entrepreneurs, you take a lot of risks in your companies. So my advice to people that own companies, like furniture companies, food and beverage, consultancy companies, my advice is with the rest of the wealth to invest private equity, other people's funds, stocks, debt, so bonds, and different currencies. I will share a secret that I have been, let's say, following in my life. So, and this I learned by experience and by my mistakes. The first is, I think, the most important. Obviously, you need to work with professionals that have expertise. But how can you trust somebody, a wealth manager or a professional, that you don't know for many years? How do you know and how do you choose? I think the first criteria, I believe the most important, I only invest in funds or private equity or bonds managed by someone that is investing in the same assets that is asking me to invest. So this looks very simple, but it's actually very important and very difficult to find. So you know these big banks in Switzerland or United States, Citibank, Credit Suisse, UBS, Pictet, you know, Santander from Spain. The problem with these banks is that when they are managing your money, they always make money. Either you win or you lose. You lose money, they charge a commission. You win money, they charge a commission. So they don't have a motivation to make you win money. But if you don't want to do Europe or Euro, you can do US dollars, you can do Swiss francs. They are kind of stable. And I think the currencies that have been more stable and leading the world is the euro and the US dollar. So I would stick to those. Also, these countries, Portugal, Spain, Italy, the European countries are very regulated. So you kind of know that the country, the banks, they are not going bankrupt. So being in a country that has got a devaluation of your currency and that you have inflation, you need to pay a lot of attention to the fake interest rates. So when the banks are offering 5, 6, 7%, but you have an inflation of or 8% and inflation is 4%, the interest rate, the real one, is much lower. Also, if you have devaluation of your currency, you end up in the end of the year with the same amount of money, but it's worth less. So if you are going to the European country, you are very safe, and you are making money just transferring the money to euros.